Oh, we're live.
Oh no.
Hey,
Hi.
hey, internet.
Hi, internet.
So,
Yes,
we both just finished watching Twin Peaks.
we did.
After it started before we were born,
Very much so.
and it ended it after we were born.
Very quickly, yes. That's very
Uh,
true.
and then about 20 years later,
Or so.
a little bit more,
Yeah.
we decided to watch it
Because,
because anniversaries
or that.
of our birth and creation of Twin Peaks.
Well, they don't coincide.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
So we decided to watch it. We watched
All of it.
both seasons
Yes.
and the movie.
And the movie.
Initial reactions
To which
Twin Peaks as a whole.
it's very interesting. Everyone should definitely watch it.
It's very interesting. That's
It's
all you
very
have to say.
interesting. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on in that little town. And the outerlying areas.
And they, okay.
Okay.
Well, I liked it.
It was very good. Yes.
I like Twin Peaks.
Got that right mix of creepy and
I'm a fan of David Lynch. I was a fan of David
Emotional.
Lynch before. I've been meaning to
Yes.
watch Twin Peaks for a
that's
while.
pretty much the only thing of his that I haven't. Well, now I have.
Well, now you have.
But
So
the rest
you can't
is
say that anymore. You can't say, I still have to watch Twin Peaks.
it fits in well with his filmography.
It does.
The movie is a little aggravating though.
Yeah. That's well. We'll start with that since that's technically the beginning.
That ruins a lot of things though for later on.
Well, we'll talk about your initial reaction to the movie because you just saw it. I saw it a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Give us your initial reactions to the movie.
It's very frustrating.
Fire off with me.
It's very frustrating and very revealing as a prequel. Even though it has to be, it sort of ruins the show. It also heightens it in a way though.
It does because
If you had already watched it.
For me, it does because you wonder how the show would have if it would have been as good and successful later on if it had been like the movie was, because that's how they wanted to make the show, as intense as the movie was.
It's not even about the intensity as so much as the content.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh no, it was much more intense. It's just I don't think that has much of a bearing either way.
I'm curious to see how it would have. Well, I don't want to know because I love the show how it is, but
There's
I'm
no way to
curious
know.
to see in an alternate dimension where that show was picked up by HBO or something initially, how it would have turned out.
It doesn't need to be vulgar though.
It doesn't need to be because all the implications of vulgarity are.
But it very easily could be. But the implications make it better, I think.
It does because it feels innocent with all that dirt.
It's quite funny too.
That too.
At points.
It's what I love about David Lynch. It's a lot.
It's a lot of
just like
a lot of content.
Not the off the handle humor, just like
quirky strangeness.
Yeah.
It's not even humor really. It's just funny in the incident of itself.
So I'm assuming if you're watching this, you've seen Twin Peaks to some capacity. You might have not seen every episode yet or the movie. Watch the movie afterward.
If at all.
If at all.
No, definitely watch it.
What are you saying things for? I'm like following your lead, and
maybe you're also
like leading me to the Black Lodge. That was bad. We're going.
I don't even know if I should continue speaking now. I don't know why you did that.
I apologize.
We have so many viewers right now.
I know.
Yeah.
We're at 1,500.
Keep those questions coming in because we'll answer most of them.
Because we're authorized to answer questions about a series we just finished watching.
Easily.
So.
Yes. Buttons.
The end of the series.
The very end or the end? Last few episodes.
The last episode.
Okay.
Tell us how season 3 starts in your head. First, give us the first few scenes of season 3. Or the first scene.
I don't know if I could. Probably Cooper in the Black Lodge.
You would start Cooper off in the Black Lodge.
I think so, yes.
Okay. What is he doing in the Black Lodge? Talking to Mike? Talking to Bob?
I don't.
Talking to Bobbity Mike?
What is...
Just keep going.
You're stressing me out. I don't know. I honestly don't know. I
do you
think
think
that's a fitting place to start. It probably wouldn't start that way, but I feel like that would be a good idea.
Cooper and the Black Lodge?
But I don't think that's how it would start. It would probably more likely start Truman in the forest.
See, I think
If they even address the past event, I mean, they will address the past events.
no,
but
I
not
don't mean when it comes back. I mean if it had continued.
if it had continued, same
like
thing.
saying, you think he would? You
That's
don't think it
kind of where they left it.
See, I think it would have just started right, like maybe a couple hours after.
Well, no, the way they
Black
left
Lodge
it, he was possessed already, so he was.
No, I know, but I mean,
So what are you saying?
I mean, I think they would have started off a couple hours after the second one ended. Maybe you see Andy mucking about doing something,
Right.
and
I can
maybe
see
it
that.
goes back to Cooper in the hotel room. Maybe he's having breakfast. Maybe he's not in possessed mode. Maybe he's just feeling off and just maybe he doesn't have an appetite.
But aren't you fully aware of it most of the time? Like Leland was pretty. I mean, he was on and off. But
I don't think we.
there wasn't much of a perspective on him.
Yeah, we don't see the initial thing.
Not until the movie, and even then, not really.
Well, with Leland, he's had it for a long time, right?
Right, since he was a child.
I mean, we don't see how it affects them initially. If they initially know what's going, if they
I don't think they would, but
present.
probably not.
That's what I'm saying. Would Cooper notice that something's off about him initially? Maybe he doesn't have an appetite, and people maybe notice that he doesn't have an appetite. I feel like there would be slight differences that people would.
There are
pick up on, 'cause
definitely
he has these
initially major
idiosyncrasies.
inconsistencies with his idiosyncrasies.
Like maybe he doesn't want donuts anymore, or maybe he's drinking orange juice instead of coffee in the morning, or something like that.
I think they already
feel like it'd
presented
be-
that at the end of the series.
Did they? Refresh my memory.
Oh no, I'm thinking of the extra that they hadn't added in. No, I'm not sure that that's even canon then. Never mind. There's that extra scene after the final scene
You want to explain?
when he comes out of the bathroom and he's bleeding from the face, and he tells them he finds that humorous.
And you just don't think that would be in character?
That just bothers me so much. The way he delivers it and the way he's so automaton about it. It's just not natural speech patterns, and I feel like that would cue them off initially, at least a little bit. He's quirky, but he's not without emotion, which is kind of how that
has
was.
a bit of soul behind it. He's very what's the word?
Passionate?
Not well, yeah, he's passionate, but he's very the word for like he's very articulate.
Yeah. That's good.
But I like in the beginning of season 3, I think it would be a food thing because he has a thing for food.
But they all
think-
do though.
But he's super vocal about his food thing. He
And the
just
trees as well.
discusses
But that
his breakfast almost every day.
that was another thing that kind of bothered me.
what
When I think it was maybe the third to last episode, when they're in the boat and he tells Annie, I don't want to talk about trees anymore. Like, it seems like he's fully immersed in either Twin Peaks, well, definitely her, but Twin Peaks as a whole he's no longer as charmed with it as he was.
well, it's
Unless
probably
I'm reading too
No,
much
it's
into
probably
it.
true. But I think most of it is being enamored with Annie.
So quickly, though? I mean, that shift is strange to me, too.
Well, I think that was a big thing with all season 2. The whole season 2 mix up with revealing who Laura Palmer's killer is before they wanted to.
Right.
And they probably had the Annie thing and wanted to do the Annie thing, but it was
I don't
rushed
know about that, though.
because of the Wyndham Earl plot, which would have been probably season 3 if they hadn't rushed the whole Laura Palmer's killer thing.
I feel like that wouldn't have gone as far, though.
You don't think the Wyndham Earl thing would have been a whole season?
They could have fleshed it out, but I don't think it would have been a whole season.
I don't know what they've spoken about. I don't only know a small amount of what they wanted to do with season 3. But I feel like that would have been season 3 if they didn't have to reveal
Definitely a major part of
Laura Palmer's killer. So
it. They could have let that go much longer, I think, and gone into even things that happened in the past.
It's possible.
Though the show never was really framed that way specifically.
Yeah, there was not too many. There wasn't really a big flashback.
Element.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it's coming back
it is.
in 2 years.
Almost a year.
Almost a year. And what do you think that's going to look like? 25 years later in Twin Peaks, what do you think that's going to look like?
I'm not sure. Very different. Everyone's much older. Some people are gone.
Gone,
I guess they'll
yes.
probably avoid those storylines, though, unless they tack it in some way.
I mean, 25 years later, there's probably a lot that's going to happen with Cooper being possessed.
Definitely.
Leo probably coming back if he hadn't died in that season finale. Maybe, but I don't think he's dead.
Lucy's kid is probably much
Oh,
older
he's
as well.
probably.
I don't know if that will have anything.
He's probably our age. He's probably like 20.
I don't think anything.
24.
I'm not sure that it'll have anything to do with the major story, but they'll probably approach that in some way if everybody comes back.
Do you think Lucy's kid is going to be in tune with everything, or do you think he'll be normal?
He'll probably be like either of them, kind of aloof and sort of just innocent.
Do you think so? You think being
Raised by
born
those
under
two?
That-
In any way. They're plus and being covered in tape, and
I don't know.
the only drama there was that she wasn't sure which was the father, unless it turns out that Dick is the father.
I don't think that really.
No, that doesn't really
plays
have
a
any.
part.
It doesn't play much, but they didn't really have anything to do. Neither she didn't. Andy did a bit, but
That's what I'm saying.
there's really nothing
They-
surrounding them.
They don't really go into the backstory of Andy. Is there more to Andy than we know?
I don't think so.
You think that's just him? He's just sort of simple.
I think so.
But he's keen. But he's simple. But he's keen.
Well, probably because he's simple.
Yeah. No,
He's clear of any sort of like major. I mean, he's very emotional, but he's clear of any sort of major.
well, I think
Imposition
he's
mentally.
emotional. His emotional is what helps him stay simple. He
Definitely.
lets it out.
Yeah.
But that's a different conversation. That's more psychological. Let's talk about Andy's brain. Do you think what do you think would have happened with the White Lodge? Do you think we would have saw that right away in season 3?
I don't think so. No. Maybe bits and pieces, but not like initially
And
right away. No. They'd have to find it, get to it first.
well, they know where it is.
No. Well, yeah.
It's on the map
right.
that they found that is connected to the Owl Cave. Glastonbury Grove is where the Black Lodge is located. I don't recall where the White Lodge is located. I
Neither
don't know
do
if
I
they
at the
ever said
moment.
the location.
They might have.
They have the map. They know
They
where
do,
it is
right.
located.
They
I
would
don't know
prob-
if they actually said the name of
They would
that location.
Probably have to bring Cooper there
Do you think
for something.
Do you think we've seen the White Lodge before?
No.
Or where the White Lodge is located?
No. Well, maybe the location, not it itself. No.
I was
wasn't
thinking.
really-
I was thinking the lake,
that could be.
somewhere on the lake or around the lake, because that seems to be where people. That
The
seems
water
to
is
be where
purifying.
like the lovers go.
Not all.
But I feel like a lot of the emotional, like love sort of scenes took place near the lake.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So maybe they're attracted to that lake. I mean, it's a
It's
lake.
possible.
It's a lake, so romantic and whatever. But
Hmm.
it's also a lake because the White Lodge. It's sort of related in my
Right.
head. I don't know.
Right.
Romantic lake.
It could be.
where the White Lodge is.
That's a
love.
good possibility.
That's how I saw it. So, knowing what the Black Lodge looks like, what do you think? Just rack your brain and what do you think the White Lodge would look like?
Probably the exact opposite.
Do you think it would be a complete opposite? Of,
Probably blue and maybe alternating. The black and white might stay because that's just a theme of black and white lodge is probably part of each other in some way. But I feel like blue curtains would be a thing.
You think curtains?
I don't know why blue. Yeah, like the other. Because they must be similar in most ways other than these few little details. Because if it's a love and hate thing, they're very close emotions. Emotions.
The thing I think is that the Black Lodge is very modern looking, sort of,
Yes and no.
and I feel like the White Lodge might be a little bit more. I don't want to say traditional, but maybe a little less tainted, a little less moody.
It's pretty pristine though. It's not very.
Because this is all a lot of this.
You mean the
is,
deep colors?
a lot of this is set in sort of Native American mythology and stuff like that. And I feel like the Black Lodge is sort of like it's sort of the tarnished. Since that land was tarnished, that's sort of the Black Lodge is sort of
Like a tarnished
that
nature of.
yeah. It's like what came, like
Mhm.
it sort of came with the tarnishment of that land, and I think the White Lodge would be sort of more like a sacred, like sort of like
I can see that.
maybe just an open plain,
Could be.
maybe
yeah.
just open.
Right.
I feel like it would be open
Yeah.
somewhere else, but just
more open.
just
less
like
dark.
an untainted plain.
Like something
reality.
unimpeded.
Yeah, maybe just like grass and blue sky.
But it would have to be a thing, I think. I feel like it would have to be some
Oh
sort
no,
of.
yeah, it would be a thing, but I feel like it'd just be very spacious.
Like a hammer space kind of thing. Like it's like bigger on the inside than the outside. It's like it inhabits this one space, but it's more
Less private
right.
feeling, because with the Black Lodge you get curtains, separation.
It's also hidden though.
yeah. I feel like the White Lodge is probably easy to access. Do you think anybody?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Do you think anybody that we know of Twin Peaks has been to the White Lodge?
I don't think so. No.
So you think these people have only dealt with
Maybe
the
Briggs.
Black Lodge and people from the Black Lodge?
Because Project Blue Book, they were trying to find it.
Do you think he's been to the White Lodge?
No. Maybe in some way, because he did disappear, and then there was, but I don't know if that was the White Lodge.
It might have been.
It might have been.
Do you think anybody's ever been possessed by somebody from the White Lodge? Do you think the White Lodge, whoever?
I don't think that's a thing. I don't think that would be a thing. Because I feel like
'Cause
that would be Mike then, if anything, but it's not.
It's not.
He's not directly
evil.
related to. Not entirely, but yeah.
He's not good.
No,
He's not a loving being.
no. But it may turn. I don't think it could turn into that either. I don't know. They're like part of each other.
So, see, that intrigues me. I
Mm.
want to know if we've seen any circumstances with the White Lodge, which I think the Colonel.
If anybody, probably him.
I think he's dealt with the White Lodge the most. I think that he's also dropped hints that he's dealt with it, and that's what he's in Twin Peaks for. I don't. Had they said that they've always been in Twin Peaks? Did he grow up there, or did they move there to do the research?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I feel
that
like I don't know.
because if that's the case, if they moved there and he's just lived there for that long, then he might have been figuring out both of them. But he's interacted with the people from the White Lodge, because you see how he interacts with his wife. Like, that dude is just gushing whenever he sees her. So he'd be able to enter the White Lodge
Maybe.
if the key to entering the White Lodge is love.
There
That
must be
dude-
more
that
to
dude
it than
has
that,
it.
though.
I don't think so. I don't
I don't know.
His motives are always, they're unclear, but they're probably always good.
He's very family oriented. I think.
And like I just thought, after seeing him with his wife, almost any time they interact, it's just like he embraces her. So I think he's been to the White Lodge, and I think he knows people
Oh,
or
sure.
spirits that live in the White Lodge.
There's a lot that could happen. There's a lot that couldn't happen as well.
Um,
It's very tricky. I guess we won't know until we know exactly, and then the implications of the book.
Actually,
coming out.
I feel like I'm just thinking this out right now, but I feel like I might be onto something with that.
Maybe.
How about what's his face? The other police officer, Hawk? What's his name?
Yeah.
What do you think about him? Do you think he knows anything? Because he seems to be more up on the mythology, and
They don't ever consult him on it though, really, very much.
They usually just bring him in with this on his skills. But do you think he's more important?
Not
Then
so
they-
much, I don't think. I mean, maybe he could be more like, but they haven't ever revealed him to know much more than anyone else. Seemingly.
What's needed?
Right.
Well, he drops these tidbits of knowledge, which
Hmm.
makes me wonder, like, what his past is or who he's related to. I'm more interested into the.
I don't know if he's got such an intricate. He must have
origins.
an intricate relation with something.
I mean, because he seems pretty in tune with his
They didn't have him.
ancestors.
They didn't have him figure out the map though,
No, but he
Andy
wasn't.
did.
Yeah,
because he's pure.
Andy. But is Andy also Native American descendant?
I don't think so. No,
He might be.
I'm not sure.
They don't really. Yeah, they don't really go too far back. I guess they didn't think about that, but this is things that you think about after the fact. And
Well, anything is
fans that
possible,
watch
really. Yeah, of course.
I always like stories where Native American mythology related.
You don't see that.
And this
too
is a
much.
pretty
Yeah.
severe case. Let me think. So we both just found out, and we'll jump to the Black Lodge now. We both just sort of read on the Twin Peaks wiki
Mm.
that we didn't realize this, but Bob and Mike sort of were quarreling through a lot of season 2.
Right. Well, that was they made that fairly apparent. Not
See, I didn't-
not directly, just it was definitely something going on.
I didn't catch that right away that they were arguing, but which you
There's a lot
wonder.
of backstory that they don't really address very well or clearly.
It's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of abstract sort of stuff.
And then watching the movie sort of puts
They're both. Well, Bob is more about being about the physical things. He's more tempted to kill and rape, and Mike seems to be more about psychological torture. And
He saved himself from the evils of Bob with the tattoo, but then he still keeps. He's like malevolent and kind of almost an omniscient sort of evil, as opposed to hands-on.
which I guess people might see as him as a good guy.
I could see that definitely. He's more good than not, but he's also not very good.
Good, because apparently he used to kill,
Right.
as we learn.
Right.
He misses it. He just doesn't.
But he also saved himself from it, not wanting to
So that question.
be connected
Question
to
the
Bob
motive.
anymore.
That's why people question the motives of Mike.
Hmm.
Why is he's in the Black? Why is he in the Black Lodge? I mean, how old is his spirit?
Probably as old as Bob's.
And how long has he always killed? Or is that something that happened? Did he like?
And then what made him snap out of that, like, and want
And it
to?
seems to be recent
Right.
because with Gerard,
He may have been an entrapment of Bob. Maybe Bob felt. I don't know why you would need another.
is it? This might be a little going out on the limb, but do you think he's like a double?
a limb.
Do you think he's like a double agent sort of deal?
I don't think he's any sort of agent. I think he's just he plays how he wants to, as opposed to following by anyone's rules. I'll help Cooper, but I'll also not help Bob, but he's sort of indifferent one way or the other. I don't think he's really playing for anybody
But which
other than himself for amusement, maybe. But I don't see what amusement you're getting out of
which
that.
shows how contained this whole thing is.
Hmm.
Are there any other, like, across the country? Are there any other sort of black lodges and white lodges, or is that?
I don't think
contained
that's.
to Twin
I don't.
Peaks?
I don't think that's really a thing. I think it's probably contained to Twin Peaks.
Which, and then you wonder, why?
It's just happened to
'Cause they're
where it
not-
happened.
Bob seems sort of Native American looking. He has a lot of distinct features, but Mike doesn't seem to be.
But Bob's features aren't really a necessary aspect of Bob.
That's what I'm wondering. Are they? That leads me back to thinking it's a new thing.
It must be
the Black
anything,
Lodge.
because he possessed. Oh, you mean the Black? Oh, I don't know about that.
Because I don't feel like the Black Lodge would have been around long. I feel like it's just a new manifestation of like the evil that came
But from where? It said that Leland was possessed by him.
No, way before that.
That's
way
what
before Leland.
that's always been there. How is that new?
No, I think it's newer.
Oh.
Then I think the White Lodge is something that was always there, and then came the Black Lodge.
Right.
And maybe the Black Lodge looked different. It was inhabited by different spirits before.
Right.
But I feel like the Black Lodge is sort of like, I don't want to go there, but the Black Lodge is an allegory for white men destroying what was there.
Is it really that Native American though? I mean, is it really like? Do you really? It's not. It's not just the surface like magic and strangeness.
It's that, but it's also. I think it's.
I guess it could be seen as a commentary on a lot of things. Then, if you take it that way, sure.
That's how I see it.
It's an imposition, and the thing with the sawmill.
It might have been something.
And Horn trying to save the weasel. Yeah, I could see that more now. Then
it might have. I'm thinking maybe before it wasn't that. It wasn't what it is there. It might have just been a ground where where the natives used to punish people that did bad.
Strictly? I mean, it's not a burial ground, but I mean, it could also have been something.
It might have been what it is now, but they used it just to put the bad people, like sort of like a prison, like the bad natives,
like the Black Lodge.
No, yeah, that's what I mean.
Okay,
they put them in the Black Lodge.
It's possible, trapped in the wood,
and
like
then,
Josie.
And then later, when the white man came, they were the ultimate evil. They did the worst, and they infected the Black Lodge.
But now, why play these games with these people that are not specifically? I mean, it's just an old, just old angers.
Doesn't yeah?
And I'm like,
I think because Bob seems like he seems younger, but he also maybe older.
But you're targeting these like it's specifically sexual, and it's specifically like you think that's also a metaphor.
Oh yeah, I think the Black Lodge and the White Lodge are drenched in metaphors.
Of course, but I mean, why would specifically target these white girls with the blonde hair and? Because you let Ronette go.
That's more.
And
that might be things that we don't know because it didn't continue.
Right.
There has to be a method,
of course.
But then what happened to Leland? Because he used to see him before he was possessed.
When was Leland possessed? Oh, Leland. Oh, jeez, I think not Leland. Okay.
He used to see. Apparently, he used to see him before he was possessed. That's what he told.
Right.
Cooper.
Since he was a boy, though, he was not like.
So there was.
So was he a real person that transcended somehow,
or did the same thing happen to Leland when he was a kid?
Yes, I think that's probably
by
true.
Whatever his neighbor was, or
Bob is probably something that's always been, and he's just taking on the forms of these people.
But
that's why I think in the new one it'll probably be Leland if he comes back in any way.
But do you think
Bob being?
Do you think it is a thing based on pretty blonde white girls, or
it's probably just the nature of the monster. If it's a demon sort of thing or a spirit, it might just target these people because that's what it likes. It's just fixated on this one point.
That's what I mean.
From whatever
has it always been
incident,
like?
I would think so. Yes,
because also that goes back to them being newer. I mean, because you don't see too many Native American women in the show,
right?
No, yeah, you don't see any really. I don't think
it's just pointless vengeance. It seems like you're saying,
yeah,
without any actual.
And he might be. That leads me to think that the Black Lodge might not have always been there. Maybe the tastes.
It's possible
they have more contemporary tastes in women or individuals. Because if Bob went after Leland, then I don't know.
It's not specifically one sex or the other. It's just
that's what I mean.
But then you're possessing, and now you have this string of incidents, and they're leaving clues. He's spelling out his own name. So why would they do that?
I think it's just a game.
It's just a game, but then someone figures it out, and then what? Like, you're just going to, they possess Cooper, so now we're just going to keep jumping from person to person and keep killing girls? Like, what is...
But is this a new thing? Had they done before with the names? I mean, because the only time we ever knew about the names was this recent case with Bob and Leland.
I don't think anything before really matters, but if you're going to talk about it that way, it probably has been the same since the beginning of whenever this had started. And maybe it's just like a cat and mouse sort of thing. I don't know, between Mike and Bob, or I don't know who else it would be. It's just, and then the White Lodge is the opposition to it. So if that's always existed in some form.
And then where are the people that reside in the White Lodge during all of this?
They don't show any of that. I don't think the White Lodge has been accessed yet. I don't know why that's a necessity. I think maybe it's because evil is easier to access than love.
But do you think
for most?
Do you think there's a version of Laura, a White Lodge version of Laura? Because we see her in the white dress.
I don't see what
and the doves, and I think that's a symbol of
it's purity
and
innocence and stuff like that. And she's definitely not any of those things.
But is she not? She didn't have a choice to be impure though.
You have a choice.
She was, but she was, as a little girl, she was forcefully made impure.
That way, and then she followed that through into life.
And she's obviously split into various different forms.
Yeah, her emotions are pretty all over the place. I mean, she's in line with someone who does do drugs, but there's also the mystical element that could. Yeah, you could be right. Maybe there is a version of her in the White Lodge.
That's what I'm saying.
If there is a form to the White Lodge, maybe the White Lodge is like an empty sort of. Space.
I think maybe the White Lodge is more of a healing thing, or maybe
than actually
forgiving
having inhabitants. Thing. Yeah, because I don't think anything would be in the White Lodge because everything seems to be really very tightly wound to the Black Lodge.
That's that's the thing. Where is the White Lodge in all of this? Is there anything in the White Lodge, or is whatever was in the White Lodge dead at this point?
I don't think it's dead. I don't think there was ever a thing there. Or it's just a separate plane that they can access to fix what was done. I don't know if it would override the Black Lodge, though, because they kind of exist in tandem.
But the Black Lodge sort of... The spirits in the Black Lodge sort of feed on pain, suffering, and anger. And if there was none of that, if there was none of the love and all that stuff going on with the White Lodge, whoever occupied the White Lodge just sort of fall away. Are they that dependent on that sort of energy?
It must be that, unless it's that the entire town of Twin Peaks activates that with everyone's bullshit, to be blunt.
To make those spirits stronger?
With all of the affairs and the drug dealing and the murder. Possible. Like, I don't know if that would access this one area that happens to have a sensitivity to emotions.
I think it also sort of speaks to the complexity of the situation. Because you have you have adultery, but you also have these people that are committing adultery that aren't happy with their...
Pretty much everyone's got some sort of a triangle going on.
But you have somebody like Norma, who sort of was just in a bad situation. She's married to Hank.
That doesn't last for long.
You don't think her and...
That gets corrupted too, and that becomes a triangle as well. Actually, it becomes a square.
With other Mike, teenager Mike and
Nelson.
Nadine. But apparently... I forgot his name.
And then Ben Hur.
Ed.
Okay.
Ed and Norma. They had it way before. See, nobody's impartial in this.
Everything gets changed. It's not. I mean, whether or not. I mean, nature acted upon her, and then she went off and did what she did, and then he could reveal his true feelings to the other. So it's probably the town in control of everything, unless it's just a meta commentary on like soap opera type things in general. We're reading too much into it.
I think that's definitely what it is. They probably had a similar conversation to this.
I would think so.
Especially with that soap opera thing.
They didn't follow through.
That was a joke, but it also wasn't a joke.
No, I know. The few times they use it, it did comment directly on characters and in the story, even in vague ways.
So God knows how long the White Lodge has been sort of out of commission, and maybe Cooper.
But is there a
back-
way to check? But there's no way to check. Now he's possessed. Well, at the time of the end of the series, it's just I don't think there's any way to change that unless everything does change, and then what what is left? If there's no conflict with Bob,
But the thing is, I think maybe we want Cooper to be the one to access the White Lodge, but maybe
it's
it's
expected
not
that he
Cooper
would
at
be.
all. I think
I don't know who else it would be.
Andy. I think Andy would play a big part in the White Lodge.
I'm sure
Coming
he will,
back.
unless
And
coming
maybe
back.
their baby too.
Unless when they come back, it's from a perspective of the White Lodge. Because 25 years is a long time for things to be happening. I mean, we'll have to read that book when it comes out and see what it says that way.
Flatiron Press. I
Right.
think it's coming. I think it. I don't know
Next
who's
year.
writing it. I think maybe
Mark
Mark
Frost.
Frost is.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
he was-
right. Yeah.
So maybe we'll do another video when that comes out after we both read it.
That
Because I'm
sounds
sure
good.
we will
We should get there. Try to get our hands on the other book as well.
if we can.
I don't know how much that will reveal.
Apparently, the other book
I would
Might not
ass-
end up being canon. I don't know.
I would
know.
assume it's in line with the movie in some way, because I
the
heard...
Cooper tapes.
No, the other. The tapes, I'm not sure. The tapes are available online. We could listen to those online.
Maybe we could do that and do a thing about the tapes or something.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's see if there's anything else there. I'm not sure, though.
But there's all that drama.
There's a lot of speculation.
I mean, we're talking about all of the supernatural elements of.
We talked about some other things, too, though. We talked about some of the
Twin
emotional
Peaks.
little intricacies of the triangles and quadrangles.
Everybody had their sort of. How about what's his face? The
Oh, yeah.
motorcycle.
James?
James.
He just up and left. That was a waste of a whole...
He up and left, but what is
He
what
did
is
say
his
he'd
deal?
come back. What do you mean?
Because he was with Laura.
Right.
You know,
Right. Well,
but he seemed like the most innocent of all of them,
Mm.
almost next to Andy. Like
He's a challenged adolescent teen.
I know, but you have these
He's got very base emotions though, like
Yeah.
I love you, and this is I gotta go. Like he's very reactionary.
but I think
He does the work for the woman, and they have a thing. When he
Well,
leaves
that-
town,
I don't think that was. I think that was him just sort of
And then
stress releasing. I don't think he was in love with
it's
her.
reactionary. Exactly. It's not doesn't mean anything. He just does what is
But
like
you don't-
presented to him. And then he goes back, and he can't stay.
You don't think he was in love with Donna though,
No,
at all?
no.
You don't think he really was?
That seems to be direct reaction to her dying. If she had, if Laura hadn't died,
apparently
he
they had-
still would have been.
They had a thing before that. They said that
They
they
would
already
never have
were-
left her entirely. I don't think. Even though she was running around with everybody else as well, he didn't know that. But unless that was revealed, I'm pretty
Hey,
sure he would have
James.
stayed. James,
Do you
indeed.
think so though?
I do.
Do you think that maybe if she hadn't, maybe there would have been
I do.
trouble with Donna and Laura?
I don't know. I don't know that
Because
that would
even
have
in the
ever-
movie, there's sort of like a thing. Maybe ice.
they're only at odds because Donna is more innocent and trying to protect her, and then she goes and protects. Laura protects her from
The dudes.
how she is,
Yeah.
even
See,
though she's trying to compete.
It's just it's complicated. That's why this show is so good because these characters feel
There's a lot going
real,
on. Yeah,
sort of.
to a point, as real as fake
They can get
be.
for TV. Yeah. There's a lot of layers. To
in a
these
campy
people.
sort of way too. At points,
Oh yeah.
most of the
but
time.
life can be campy, I guess.
Campy can be life.
Well,
Well,
this is that is way more than we have on this sheet. We basically this is not going to even.
that's so backwards.
Yeah. We're not even going to see it.
My horrible dude.
All we have on this sheet is Bob, Mike, Black White Lodge, Owl Cave, and Glastonbury Grove.
Basically,
we
some
went
locations.
far. We went
We-
pretty far.
We did cover a lot of things.
What else could we hit?
What else could we hit?
Let's see. Leland's dead.
No.
His body's dead.
Oh no, Leland is dead. Yes, but I think if Bob is to come back in any form, it will probably be in the form of Leland. because
You
that
don't
was the
think
last
they'll-
person he inherited. Well, technically Cooper, but I feel like if Cooper
You don't
recovers
think,
from that,
do you think they're going to get a person to replace Brian Solo?
no.
Brian Solo? Yeah. Frank Solo. I'm sorry. Frank Solo.
Damn it! Can't burn the whole thing. Stop watching.
It's still new to me. I'm
These
still
things-
I'm still a new fan.
These things happen.
So
These things happen.
bum, 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 bum.
What is that?
Cute sad guitar song that James sings.
Just you and I. Yeah, no. I'm pretty sure if Bob is to come back in any form other than Cooper, it would probably definitely be Leland, because I don't see how they could bring him back.
But I don't
Actually bring him back.
I don't think it would be Leland.
Why not?
Because Leland as himself is just
There's no way to bring him back from the dead, though.
it wouldn't make sense for him to be
I think it
a
would.
spirit like Bob.
I think no, it's not him. It's Bob. He's not a spirit like
So-
Bob. He's
so-
just taking that form because he inhabited him the second longest. If Cooper gets out of it,
I see what you're saying.
right?
Okay, that makes sense. So it wouldn't be Leland; it would just be Bob. That looks like
Right.
okay.
And they maybe will use that to their advantage in some way to,
That might
to
be actually what happens.
connive people or so. That's the most logical thing I could think. Out of everything else, that probably will definitely happen. Anything else, I'm not.
I
so sure about.
actually read a thing where somebody wrote an article about who they could get to replace Frank Solo.
Yeah,
But I forgot. There was a couple good ones.
good article.
There was a couple good choices, but I think you're probably right.
I
about
feel
the
like that's the
Leland
most
thing.
logical. They could totally do something completely different as well, but I feel
That's
like
probably
that
what
makes
they
the
wanted
most
to
sense.
do. I mean,
Because they said they would try to find a way to get Ray Wise back involved, so I don't really see any other way to fit him in, unless you have some sort of flashback
Oh, yeah, they-
situation, and he's not looking good.
I feel he might be able to fix something by the time that comes back.
I don't know. He's pretty watery. He doesn't look bad. He's just not.
He might not be
smooth and slick.
Yeah, he might not be able to be as active as Bob has been.
Active, maybe. He's just not very.
He'll sort of be like more of a stoic, like he's
He's got
good
that
with the
face.
face.
Yeah, his face is very.
When you see Ray Wise act, there's a scene in the movie
There's
where-
few scenes.
where he's Bob. He's
Few
Bob, and he's
scenes.
just sort of just. He turns back to Leland, and his cheeks drop, and then his eyes sort of open,
I'll tell you one thing right
and then
now.
he starts crying.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing right now. If there's not a lot of crying and singing, I'm done.
Yeah, they have to have music is such a huge part of that show.
That I understand. But if Leland comes back in any way and doesn't cry or sing, we're gonna have some
If the show
problems.
doesn't start with him dancing
Okay.
to something,
Okay. I'll get yes.
you just
We don't watch it. If it doesn't,
in
we will not
25
watch
in
it.
25 years, how do you think the Black Lodge would have evolved? Because the Black Lodge makes sense for
I think it would
the
be the
90s.
same.
no. I
No,
think
they're
there
not
would be
gonna.
some
I don't
differences.
think they're gonna update it.
I think maybe still the red curtains, still the floor, but I think the furniture and whatever's in it would be different.
I feel like that's very important. The statue and the furniture.
Oh no, that stuff might stay, but there might be new things.
There may be new things. I don't know what.
Because I feel like Black Lodge is sort of
adaptive.
it makes sense for it makes sense for the time. It grows as like new sins sort of develop and all that kind of
But
stuff.
are there any new sins?
Well, new ways to like just be like
Because as far as
Evil.
I know,
there's a lot of more financial sins. There's all sort of
but
stuff.
they all come down to
It's
the
all
base
moral, yeah.
7.
But there's very like niche
Yeah,
sort
there
of
are,
sins or
but it doesn't.
terribleness.
I don't think it really focuses on specific terribleness. It's just general.
I think going with David Lynch's taste and style and
Hmm.
like architecture, it probably won't change that much because
No.
he's still very much into that
Depending on what they have
kind of
access
thing.
to.
And the music might not change. He still might do a lot of the bluesy
if they
jazz
get
kind of stuff.
Badalamenti, it should definitely come back. I'm pretty sure he will.
Yeah, I think he's gonna do some stuff.
So they'll probably have most of the original and probably some very
I
similar.
don't think they
new
should
things.
change the theme song
That's not going to happen
at all.
They won't.
I think they should just maybe redo what they already have.
They probably won't.
Redo it so that the audio is better. It's easier to master.
They'll be on digital too now, which is going to be a big difference, I think, because they can. I mean, they could film on film, but it's very hard to edit and whatnot.
Oh no, I don't think David Lynch wants to do it on film.
No, he's going to do it on digital, which is going to change the look of it very much, I think, unless they filter it, and I'm sure they will.
I mean, there's cameras that can emulate that look, and most of that look is brought on by the settings, the hotel and stuff like that.
Right.
So most of that stuff is still there. I'm pretty sure the hotel's still there, the diner's still there.
I think so. It might look a little different, but they could maybe.
There's probably some modern looking things, which is fine because
if
25 years later,
if they even need those. Same. I mean, some of the mainstays will have to be involved.
I think the hotel will still be there because Audrey is probably going to be running it. I'm almost positive she's going to be running it because that's
Ben Hort is still alive, though.
I think she'll have it.
Audrey's probably dead.
Audrey?
She was chained to the safe that exploded.
Oh yeah, that's true.
She's supposed to, I mean, she's credited as coming back at the time of this recording.
Yeah, I don't think.
But none of that's official.
I don't think she's going to be dead. I think maybe she's
probably
hospitalized.
I don't know.
Or something.
Because she was pretty close.
Yeah.
She'll come back in some way, though.
She might be missing a leg or something. It'll be something sort of like that.
They might do something strange like that.
Maybe she's missing an eye. She'll be just wearing an eye. No, they can't do the eye patch again.
No. They've already got
I mean, they could. Because it'll be like another person with another weirdo with an eye patch. And maybe the whole, I know actress that played Audrey wanted Cooper and Audrey to happen, and then the Annie thing happened. So maybe the Audrey thing will come back into play.
Maybe now.
Because she says something about when I'm like older.
Yeah, but I don't know if that really matters after the fact. Because she was off with Buck, what's his face?
Billy Zane.
Yeah.
Billy Zane's character. I don't remember his name.
Neither do I. Kind of upset. Wait a minute.
But do you think that was a rebound?
No, that was just a fill-in for what would have happened initially. She was kind of the characters changed drastically in the second season.
Yeah,
kind of on a dime.
Which is TV.
Because of what happened.
But Showtime will probably give it. I mean, they'll probably let them do whatever the hell they want.
I
can't see Showtime taking any sort of control.
No, they have full control on it. He's directing all 9 episodes, so that should be very good. I just don't know what the content of said episodes will be or should be. And then the book probably will reveal a lot, or not at all.
Oh, the book is going to be fat. It's going to be a fat book. 25 years. God, imagine he's probably just going to start writing, and it's all going to spill out what he's wanted to do forever.
I would think so.
Because they've wanted to do everything, and the book is not. There's not going to be any limitations to the book.
Right.
So that's going to be full. The only thing that's going to be weird about the book is not having music.
I don't think that'll make much of a difference because then it will lead into it's probably not going to be. It'll probably be very specific, but not so deep that it will ruin the impact of the comeback of the show.
Oh no! I don't think so. I think it'll probably lead into the show.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, there's a lot to discuss. Yeah.
And it's supposed to come out next year, I think?
The book? Yeah, sometime next year.
Which I wonder how... I'm guessing he's probably been working on it. He probably knew about this whole thing for a while.
They've been talking about it for a few years for it to come back.
I know him and Lynch have, but I wonder how long they've been talking to Showtime about it, or maybe a book person about it.
I think just last year, but I could be wrong. And then a book, I don't know. But you could self-publish now, and I'm sure it would do pretty well because of the content.
No, I don't think he's not self-publishing. They already...
No, they're probably not. No, they do have a publisher, but I'm sure it's probably been in the works for a while.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, we've covered quite a lot today.
I mean, we could talk about the way we think the new series is going to go all day.
Probably all night, even.
All night. It's nighttime.
Is it nighttime? It's nighttime is the right time.
is my time.
And it's
They say that in the movie.
they do.
What was I gonna say?
Probably.
Do you think
something else.
think Mike is coming back?
I would think in some form.
I mean, he's older now.
That's everyone's
As long
older
as he
now.
could still. I mean, I know he has a lot of trouble, physical trouble, because of his condition, but
They'll have him back in some way, even if it's a small
It's
thing.
just
I
sitting.
think it's such an iconic image.
I think he'd be back. Maybe not doing the dancing thing so much. I don't know how mobile.
Maybe
he
not.
is.
I'm sure he's mobile enough to do some of that jerky movements, but it
like-
depends on.
The twitches.
Yeah, and I'm sure he can still
Talk
backwards speak. Yeah,
Apparently, he was a pro at that before Twin Peaks, so
that's pretty
I'm
awesome.
sure that's not something.
No,
he'll
I'm sure he'll
lose.
keep unless
after
they
25
use
years,
unless
maybe.
they reuse footage.
Oh no, I doubt that.
But I don't think they'll be doing much of that. There'll probably be some of
At
that.
the beginning, they'll probably do like just to remind people, but a lot of the Black Lodge with Laura stuff. I
Yeah.
can see them using.
But they'll probably bring that back up in some way. There's a lot they could do.
I'm just curious to see who actually is going to come back. I feel like most of them
We'll see
are
soon
going
enough.
to come back because not a lot of them are in other things.
Right.
I
Some
hope. What's her face? Plays Diane. I mean Donna. What's her name? Wow. What's her name?
she shouldn't come back.
I think she should.
She's scary looking now.
Oh, that's true.
Lara Flynn Boyle.
Lara
Not that there's
Flynn
anything
Boyle.
wrong with doing that. It's just I don't know
She's not what.
I don't know if it would fit the show unless they make it work. But the girl who played her in the movie is pretty decent. I didn't
I thought
really
the-
find much of a
At first, I thought that
Hard
was
time
Lizzie
trying.
Kaplan, but I'm like, wait, she is not
way too
young.
young.
She looked just like Lizzie Kaplan, who I love.
Yeah.
They could get Lizzie Kaplan.
No.
She'd be, yeah.
She's too young
She's still young, but
for the time to
she's like
cast.
sort of.
They're going to get new people too, though, they said, so I don't know who else they'll get.
That's true.
But I would assume they'll get like
It's gonna be a lot of kids. It's gonna be a lot of. Well, not a.
Maybe not a
probably
lot.
be our age, but like the kids of these people.
I would think so. Or just people who have moved into town from wherever. I mean,
I think
there's a lot to.
they have to
go
address
on.
Donna in some way. So I don't know, depending on who they get to play her, if they get Lara Flynn Boyle back or the
I
girl
don't
that
think
played her in
so.
the movie,
Mm,
which I don't know. I know. David Lynch was sort of unhappy with Lara Flynn Boyle.
I'm sure.
I don't know what the relationship still looks like.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's not.
Everybody's probably super excited that it's coming back for
Yeah.
the most part.
I would think so, even if it is just the limited run.
So I don't know if there will be anything with Donna at all.
Yeah, but there
If
might
anything,
be.
her kid, because she'll probably date or end up marrying maybe somebody we didn't actually see on the show,
9 episodes.
or maybe just
though.
having a kid with somebody. But I don't see that as
9 episodes,
Donna.
like 9 hours, is a lot of time, but it's also not a lot of time.
if
you're going to
they're an
cover-
hour. Are they going to be hour?
I think they're probably going to
or
be like
hour and a
45
half.
minutes, like they used to be.
Because I know Showtime does hour-long things.
The initial, like the pilot or the new episode for the season might be more like an hour and a half, like the pilot was, but I would assume they're all going to be at least 45 minutes,
Yeah, I can't.
maybe a
I
little
can't even
longer. I
imagine
don't
what
know.
that's going to look like.
I guess we'll have to.
I'm
wait
just
and see.
imagining it starting with like sort of a fade in, maybe to the Black Lodge, and just hearing that.
Right. That's what I figure, something like that. If not the Black Lodge, the hotel, or the sheriff's office.
I
Or the
wonder,
White
I wonder how
Lodge.
much they're going to update it, or if they're going to try to keep it looking as old as possible. I know it's supposed to be 25 years later, but I wonder if they're going to be show that this place ages or this place never ages.
Depends on what they have to work with too. I'm sure the town has changed drastically. If not,
From
not
what I've seen,
drastically.
it looks fairly
Really?
stuck in time. From the pictures I've seen, because I know they do the tours there and people take
Hmm.
pictures all the time. Everything looks pretty.
Same.
Maybe the cars are new, but everything looks like
So maybe they'll go with that then. They'll probably try to keep it like.
It's still a small town. That was probably the biggest thing.
That's the thing. That's the thing. They need to keep it like it's got to be Twin Peaks.
Industry changes, which would make sense because it's steel mill and stuff. If that becomes something else, they have to address what that becomes.
It'd probably still be the mill, unless they've sold it or something like that.
well-
But no, because the weasel thing, if
Yeah.
that works out.
We don't know if that works out.
No, that was
I feel like it doesn't, but
I would imagine it does to some degree for a while.
I feel like maybe Audrey gets an. Oh no, see, we can't even say
She
that.
might be dead.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
So
Ben Horn isn't dead though.
no, he's still.
He's still kicking,
He's-
being strange. But there's something to do with him too. There's a lot with a lot of everybody. We've been talking about so much.
I know. Well,
It's
this is, if we had a podcast, this would be pretty great.
It's been pretty
This
good
is sort of like a
podcast.
podcast, but
Kind
this is
of.
going to be
It's
like
a video,
a movie length version of
a movie
Twin Peaks.
length
How
discussion.
long have we been talking?
I would say well over an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess we'll end it there. Maybe
End
we'll
it
come
here.
back to it another day with different points
Maybe we could try to get some more viewers.
or people to talk with us.
Someone has got to be interested in something.
We'll probably have retroactive viewers. Don't worry.
retroactive viewers.
It's Tuesday night. It's 11
Is
o'clock on
that-
Tuesday night.
It's 11:12. What are you doing? Homework?
Some people will probably find us after the fact.
Drop out and
Don't-
discuss things with us.
Talk about Twin Peaks for 2 hours with us.
You need to. That's talking about Twin Peaks. How is there anything else?
No, it's just talking Twin Peaks.
Talking
With a talking.
about Twin Peaks.
Twin.
Talking Twin Peaks.
All right, guys. I've been Joey.
He has been, and I have not been him. Catch you on the other side.
Catch you on the other side.
Yes, on the other side. Damn fine other side.
Catch you on One-Eyed Jacks. The Roadhouse?
That's not good.
Roadhouse and One-Eyed Jacks.
I,
You're gonna go get crunked, and then you're gonna go to
no one gets crunk.
and you're gonna go to One-Eyed Jacks.
You get crunk at One-Eyed Jacks.
I know, but you had a pregame.
You got a pregame
You got
before
a
you post
pregame
it?
at the Roadhouse, then go to One-Eyed Jacks. And
Then you want me to fuck my daughter? What do you?
No, what
do
is
you-
wrong?
I don't know what you.
There's other options.
Are there other options? Everyone's wearing masks.
You don't know what it's gonna be. You don't know what it looks like today.
You don't know what it looks like.
It might be a it might
probably
be a
fallen
family
under.
establishment. It
We
might
didn't even
be-
discuss Blackie. She's probably. Well, I mean, I guess that's irrelevant. Okay. What do we say?
I think we already said bye, and then we got into this.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens.
All right, if you're watching this on
You're not.
YouTube after
Oh.
the fact,
that you might be.
comment,
Subscribe.
subscribe. I guess
To a
there'll
thing.
probably be more of this. Follow us on Twitter. I'm at Joey Pedros. My name.
I'm at the Mr. Pipes.
Pipe.
All right.
That kind of pipe.
What other kind of pipes
Also,
are
yeah,
there?
don't forget to comment because let us know what you think about the return and what you think about the show. Any theories you have, tell us if we're assholes. Tell us if we're not. Tell us if anything makes sense to you whatsoever.
We said some clear things. We said some stupid
We
things.
rambled on.
We've rambled quite a bit. We've rambled at each other, to each other, and over each other. I think we've covered all bases.
And I wonder if any of what we said is actually true.
I would think there are a few things that are true. Most things are false. And even more things are very ambiguous at
Well,
this time.
That's not our
You know
fault.
what's going to be scary? Coming back to this in 2016 and watching.
Hopefully we have better webcams.
We probably will. Or this same one. But look at painting. It's not good. I don't know. So, signing off.
Unless it. All right, let me wrap this up.
Okay,
just to keep you guys
one more
just to keep
thing.
you guys involved. If we
They're
decide,
if they've gotten this far, they're pretty involved.
It's true.
Let me tell you, no one has gotten this far.
You never know.
Except for you.
Except for you. We love you. Don't go to One-Eyed Jacks. Or the Black Lodge.
Just don't go anywhere.
Go to the Black Lodge, take pictures,
Don't.
get out.
Don't. You can't use a camera.
How do you know that? Nobody's tried.
There's no reason to.
In the comments below, tell us if we can use a camera in the Black Lodge? We want to know because
They don't know.
they might know.
Okay.
It might be David Lynch.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sure.
You know,
Don't make fun of the man. If
I'm not making fun of him. I'm just
I can hear you.
I'm using impressions to flatter him.
Oh, good.
Um,
Flattery is the.
I don't know if you see, the Black Lodge is rooted in some sort of mythology that I haven't really figured out yet because the ideas haven't come to me. So
This is what I deal with.
the black. So having photography.
The man
in the
isn't
Black Lodge-
blind.
but he does this a lot. He closes. He visualizes what he's gonna say,
And then he says it.
and he twiddles his fingers a lot.
Hmm.
And I was trying to come up with an idea.
Mm.
I can't do it anymore because I'm gonna.
No, you shouldn't do it anymore.
How do
'cause
you? Can we do an impersonation of Mark Frost?
I don't even.
Yeah, David. Put your. All right, that's it.
Okay.
That's it. Comment.
All right. On 3.
That was atrocious. Comment below. Subscribe to my channel because I do a lot of stuff like this, and there's videos from both of us occasionally.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about Twin Peaks soon. Probably that's
Most
what I wanted
likely.
to say.
Yes.
We'll probably do another Twin Peaks thing as
Maybe
more information comes out.
Tomorrow. Yeah.
We'll
That.
riff
Okay.
on
Yeah,
some
that
more
works.
info. Maybe we'll do like a wrap up of all the things that have come out so far about it, and we'll do that thing.
Yeah. Okay. So.
So really,
Really now, it's time to do the
goodbye.
goodbye. Damn good coffee.
Hashtag damn good coffee.